Dave Ramsey is widely considered one of the bigger frauds in the financial industry, but he is also widely considered to be one of those heroes who really helps people in bad financial trouble. People who know about Dave tend to have very passionate beliefs about him one way or the other. Today, I'll steelman both sides of the argument, give them the best possible case, and come to a determination about which side is right. Of course, if you have an opinion about Dave, I would really appreciate if you left a comment right now about how you feel about him, and then after the video is over, go back, edit that comment, and add how your opinion has maybe changed, or if it stayed the same. I appreciate you watching. Let's get into the video.
You have nothing!
Dave started out his career as the son of two successful parents in real estate. He got his real estate license at 18 and started working after he finished college. Dave quickly realized the power of taking out massive loans from some of his family connections at a local bank, and he used these ultra-risky loans to build up an impressive real estate portfolio.
I started buying and selling real estate in my very early 20s, just a couple of years after getting married. And it worked. A little bit of family connection with some bankers and stuff that knew me and trusted me. I don't know why. I was 22 years old, 23 years old.
Eventually, when the bank he owed $1.2 million to on a 90-day loan got bought out, the bill was due on a massive gamble, and he was forced to declare bankruptcy.
Kid, 26 years old here, owes us $1,200,000. This is ridiculous. Let's limit this relationship, which is banker talk, for college notes and screw up his life.
It's pretty easy to imagine that this is likely where Dave's detest for debt comes from. He saw firsthand how successful you could be taking a massive gamble and also how it can all evaporate overnight. And this disdain for debt is kind of the cornerstone of all of Dave Ramsey's financial information, from his 7 baby steps to his Financial Peace University. He's all about making sure that you either don't take on any debt or that if you do have debt, you pay it off as quickly as possible.
And here to do a debt-free scream, how much have you paid off?
$62,447.16.
Love it. Not that we're counting to the penny.
$234,000.
Oh my gosh!
Oh! How long did
Candace.
this take?
31 months.
Look at you. I love it. How much debt have you paid off?
$230,000.
I love it.
I think it would be impossible to argue that Dave is not legitimately excited for these people and happy that they were able to find themselves in a better financial situation. But as we're going to talk about today, he's got a very limited viewpoint on how finances work.
Right.
If $600 or $1,400 completely changes your life, you're screwed.
Yeah.
You already had major structural crap in your life. You're struggling with mental illness. You're struggling with a career problem. You're struggling with a work ethic problem. You've got character issues. You've got, now he's shaming the poor, which is the other thing. I mean, that's absolutely asinine. I'm not doing any of that.
Now, one of the biggest issues people have with Dave Ramsey is this Financial Peace University. In a world where a lot of people that happen to find Dave Ramsey are either in debt or not in a great financial situation, a lot of people don't like selling $120 courses. I think it's actually on sale right now for like $50 for Black Friday. But a lot of people don't like selling people in tough financial situations a bunch of YouTube videos for $120 when, baby steps 1 through 7 you could find on his website. And then all of this other stuff is, I would wager that you could find a more helpful, more informative video from someone who actually knows what they're talking about on YouTube for free. Because unlike his opinion that $600 to poor people doesn't mean anything, I know plenty of people where $120 or even $50 on a Black Friday could go a lot farther for, paying for diapers or food or going towards rent or whatever than, paying for some YouTube videos. All right, really quickly, the 7 baby steps that are kind of the cornerstone of Dave Ramsey's entire philosophy as far as finances are concerned are: Step 1, save $1,000 for a beginner emergency fund. Step 2, pay off all debt except for your house. Step 3 is save 3 to 6 months for expenses for emergencies. Invest 15% of your income for retirement at Step 4. Save for your children's college at 5, pay off your house at 6, build wealth and give at 7. And now watch this fantastic and amazing transition from essentially what I realize now is just shitting on Dave Ramsey to kind of giving him the best defense that I possibly can. People who actually know finance hate Dave Ramsey, and for good reason. But realistically, I think Dave Ramsey holds a very important, albeit frequently misused position in the world of financial literacy, financial information, financial advice, and general finances. I think it's incredibly important for people to have someone like Dave Ramsey, sort of a gateway into general financial literacy, financial knowledge, right? He gives you essentially only the baby steps, right? He gives you the bare bone basics to get started and kind of think about your finances. I've noticed when going through a lot of videos, either defending or supporting Dave Ramsey to do research for this, that in the comment section, one of the more frequent opinions held was that Dave Ramsey really helped a lot of people when they were either really in debt, in a really bad spot, or just starting out. He helped them get back to even. And then once they got back to even, they learned more, they did more research, they realized that, his advice kind of only gets you back to zero. And that's why I think Dave Ramsey is super important, because getting back to zero is incredibly important. Right? You can't go from negative 100 to 100 instantaneously, despite what Drake may have you think. But you can go to 0 to 100 real quick, I don't know, but being able to get back to zero is not a useless quality to have in someone who preaches finance. All right, just to recap, cons of Dave Ramsey. I feel like he can be a tad predatory towards his audience with, how he prices a lot of his products, which give you essentially $0 worth of information that you couldn't find on the internet. Does he make up for that by being large enough of a creator, large enough of a voice, large enough of a charismatic personality to get people in the door? Is it worth, the cost? Like, if you think of it like marketing, right? If you were a game or a company that was selling something, you would pay a certain amount of dollars to acquire a user. Is it worth $120 to acquire, quote unquote, that user to get them to start thinking about their personal finances? I don't know. Capitalism is wild and wacky. We love it. We hate it. It's all sorts of weird stuff. So while his information is very limited and his knowledge also tends to be very limited, I do think that his primary quality is that I do believe that he does care. I do believe he does care about these people, and I do believe he's giving them sound advice to kind of unfuck themselves. I would say that Dave Ramsey is the king of helping you, at least emotionally, unfuck yourself. After a certain point, do you need to graduate from the baby steps being, listening to Dave Ramsey and following his advice? Absolutely, because you're not going to get anywhere if you only watch Dave Ramsey, right? Go watch any number of Harvard or Yale economics or personal finance or whatever lectures that are free. There's plenty of creators who will give you relatively sound advice, but at the end of the day, do research, watch a bunch of shit. You know what I mean? Like, if you ever watch a video on this channel and I'm like, do this, don't ever listen to me ever again, because people who know what they're talking about will never give you actual financial advice on the internet, because for people who work in the industry, that is very illegal. It's very illegal to do I would invest in these stocks, or I would spend my money this way. That's a huge no-no. So find information-based channels that will tell you how stuff works, and then apply that knowledge about how stuff works into your own life. Take charge. If you have to get a mentor, or you have to talk to someone in person, I recommend finding a financial advisor to help you. But realistically, don't listen to people on the internet for financial advice. So I get to the end of the day, my opinion on Dave Ramsey is, I don't think he's very smart, but I do think he's very helpful. Kind of a shit video, but let me know what you think. We're still trying to figure out this whole YouTube thing. As always, I love you, and I'll see you later.